I waited until the very last possible moment in order to return to school. Hieronymous assured me that he would do everything he could to give us a proper anniversary this year, which meant that I would only see him in a few short weeks instead of months. Even still, with Valentine's Day only 2 weeks after that, and then spring break, I was hoping that the weeks would just pass by as quickly as they could so I could finally graduate and spend the rest of my life with Hieronymous. Unfortunately, even though I was looking forward to spring break, it didn't mean that everyone else was. "Where have you been?" Virginia demands as I walk in the doorway late Sunday night. She's alone in the room, her pillow hugged tightly to her chest as she sits on her bed. "I've been waiting for you for the past 2 days." I'm sorry, I say quickly. "I had some stuff with Hieronymous to take care of." Virginia makes a face. "About Viscount stuff. Not about that." "Although that was part of it, I bet," Virginia huffs, and I just shrug. "I got your letter," I offer. Hieronymous felt that it best warranted a response in person. "Yeah, I can imagine," Virginia says as she rolls her eyes. "Do I have to apologize for that? It was so embarrassing. My mom literally stood over my shoulder and told me what to write. We went through like 4 different drafts because my penmanship suddenly wasn't formal enough for her, or she didn't like the way I phrased some things." "Well, she missed you spelling your name with a Q," I remind her, and Virginia snickers. "I signed it right before I sent it," Virginia admits. "I figured it was the easiest way to send a discreet SOS. "Well, it was received," I say with a sigh. "So I guess your parents have given up on the idea of having it at Ravine Cottage, huh?" "Oh, no, they haven't," Virginia replies with a deadpan expression. "My mom wants me to try to persuade you in person now." "Why Ravine, though?" I ask her. "We have other castles. Why that one?" "It's the most famous property in the Grabiner estate," Virginia replies, as if it's obvious, although it's news to me. I kept forgetting that she was from a magical family that seemed to know more about the Grabiner family history than I did. "What do you want me to do?" I ask her. "Do you want me to say yes?" "No, of course not," Virginia snaps. "Do you really think I want to have my fake wedding at a huge castle where she can invite hundreds and hundreds of people?" "Fake?" I echo. "Well, it's certainly not a real one," Virginia snaps. I take a moment as I survey her expression. "So you've talked to Jacob, then?" "He's down for it," she says, as if she's disgusted with him. "He said that we made a contract and there's no way to get out of it now, so we just have to get through it." I say. I debate holding back my question before I decide to just go for it. "I'm just throwing this out there, but what if he's down for it because he likes you?" "Not even something I'm willing to think about," Virginia says flatly. "What about us? Where do we stand on this whole marriage thing?" "I mean, it doesn't affect me," I tell her. "Unless you want me to get involved. Then just tell me what I can do to best support you and I'll do it. And that includes telling your parents off, by the way. You can't do it, but I can." "I may seriously take you up on that," Virginia snickers. "My mom has been absolutely insufferable. You have no idea." I just shake my head. I didn't know if Virginia knew about what her mother had put me through when I visited her house, but it would only serve to make Virginia feel guilty, and she had enough on her plate right now. "So, how long can you keep on enjoying the single life?" I ask her. "I bet your mom has already set a date for the wedding." "The day after class lets out for spring break," she tells me. "That way we can use all of spring break for our honeymoon." I can't help but make a face. No offense, but has she even seen you two in a room together? You two can't even be in the gym for 45 minutes together for sports club. And now she wants you to go on a big fancy honeymoon with him? Where would we even go? Virginia asks. I mean, Jacob's family has money, I get that. But like you said, we don't even like each other. Where would we go? What about a theme park? I ask, and Virginia looks as though she's seriously considering this. If it helps, you can pass the idea off to Jacob of like a friends retreat or something, so it's not just the two of you. I remember when I was a kid, there was a water park hotel that we stayed at. Like, there was a giant indoor and outdoor water park, but it was also a hotel. We had rooms on the first floor, so we literally only had to walk, like, 60 steps to get from our hotel room to the entrance of the water park. That does sound kind of awesome, Virginia says in consideration. I've always wanted to go on a cruise. Have you ever been on a cruise? Once, I reply. I personally wasn't a big fan of it, but if it's something you want, you should ask Jacob about it. Plus, that way, it will pretty much guarantee your mom can't sneak on board and give you a hard time. Unless she does sneak on board to try to spend the whole cruise with us, Virginia says with a roll of her eyes. Then I'm screwed. Well, you have time to figure it out, I remind her, but I would definitely talk to Jacob and make sure you two are on the same page about everything. If he can go to bat for you in front of your parents, then all the better. Will you talk to him? Virginia asks. I don't want to pull you into my mess, but I'm worried that Jacob will just say yes to anything I ask him for. Well, I told Hieronymous I wouldn't get drawn into any drama, I remind her, but if I tell him my best friend insisted... She does, Virginia says before she grins at me. You handle my parents and Jacob, and I'll defend you from Krabby Grabby. Oh, how can I ever repay you? I sigh with a sarcastic roll of my eyes. Just help me get through this wedding, Virginia replies, and then I'll owe you for life.